Welcome to the historic Inner Harbor of Baltimore, Maryland. Just a stone's throw away, you find M&T Bank Stadium, the home of the Ravens. Coming up, we've got a good one in store. It's the Baltimore Ravens taking on themselves. With Greg Olson, I'm Mike Tirico, and out there is Tyler Loop to get us started. Off we go here in the Inner Harbor. And he brings this back all the way to midfield.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
On play action, here's Jackson. Oh, what an inauspicious start. It's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie out of Georgia. And the Ravens are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover.
Early in the game, Mike, sometimes you just can't resist. First play, let's chuck it deep. Let's see if we can get this defense on their heels early. Well, we just saw worst-case scenario when doing just that. Not only can you not connect, the ball falls into the waiting arms of this defense, and that one shot is all you got on your opening possession.
A modest gain, maybe 2 yards. It's second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Hey, middle.
Play action now. Jackson. He'll complete this one to Rashad Bateman. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. Set to go now on 1st and 10.
11 on their play. First down, Baltimore.
Again, right up the middle to Henry. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
Brought down back at the 45.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. From the gun, Jackson. Left side into the hands of Hopkins. That's a good gain there. It's going to wind up just a couple of yards shy of that first down. Now a 3rd and 2. In the shotgun, here's Jackson. He finds his receiver. That's Bateman. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They got it inside the 15. That's 2 catches on this drive. This one for 23 yards.
It's a gain of 23 yards. First down, Ravens.
This is Henry. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
The big guys in the middle of the defense, Mike, the defensive tackles. So often they're asked to do the dirty work. Keep the blockers off the linebackers. Let them run around and make all the plays. But in this case, this guy's able to shed his blockers.
To the pylon, he's in.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. 2 guys clearly on the same page. Quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and it's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
7-0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. On the return, it's Keaton Mitchell. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And they will finally track him down, but not before he takes this to the other side of midfield. On 1st and 10, Jackson. Flush tip, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Raymond Jones. He's in for the sack. It's going to be a loss of 8. to begin the drive. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Throwing Jackson. And that will be incomplete. They could not hook up on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Raven football, quarter number 2 begins as they've got it with a 3rd and long ahead. Back to throw, Jackson. He'll get rid of it and complete it. And he'll get a good chunk of that yardage back, but he's still well short of the first down.
You know, it's always hard as an offense to waste such great field position, but they had a short field to work with, not able to pick up a single first down. So give a lot of credit for the defense stopping this drive before it really got started.
Now he'll work his way out right.
So the key to this 4th down stop defensively was their ability to flush the quarterback out of the pocket. Anytime you can do that, you shrink the field, you limit the quarterback's options, and in this case, he can't find anyone, and ultimately, he goes down for a huge 4th down stop.
And that'll be a pickup of 3.
Taken down at the 43-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Jackson. This one caught downfield by Flowers. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
And the Ravens first down.
Off the play fake, Jackson. This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up 2nd down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd.
2 minutes remaining. First half in a 7-0 game. We'll come back to Baltimore after this. What can they do here on 3rd down and 7? Now, Jackson. Oh, the ball's out. Looks like one of the Ravens was able to fall on a guess. Indeed, they did, so Baltimore will keep possession. On 4th down, it's Tyler Loop for the Baltimore field goal. And that one joints off the upright and in. Fortunate break, but the kick is good. And the Ravens going to tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the first half. They'll return this from the 11. And he will dive into the end zone. 86 yards. Touchdown, Baltimore. Greg, it is a beautiful thing to watch. 11 come together. We always focus on the return man, but the entire special teams unit paves the way for that score.
And all week, Mike, when you talk to this group, the coaches thought they had an advantage in the return game, and I think we can see why. They felt their scheme and their blockers was a great matchup against this kickoff unit, and in this case, it's very easy to see why.
On the return, it's Mitchell. Now an opening past the 30. And they'll be set up well as he is past the 35-yard line.
Their own 37-yard line.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Jackson now. A throw right side is intercepted. It's the safety, Kyle Hamilton. And he's going to give his guys a short field to work with and a chance to take the lead.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
A first down throw for Jackson. Open man downfield. It's DeAndre Hopkins with the grab. They'll have the first down. It's a gain of 28.
This is a tale as old as time, Mike. It seems that anytime a team forces a takeaway, fumble, or interception, the ensuing drive starts with a shot, a deep play in the air to try to seize on some of that momentum. We just saw a great example of it here.
Forced out wide. He's going to run it.
Initially, they do a really nice job taking away his first and second reads, but what they fail to do is account for him as a runner. He ends up making something positive out of a play that initially didn't look like it had much of a chance.
That one caught for Dante Wester. This drive's going to continue. They bring him down, but not before he picks up 1st and goal for his team.
Bills.
3 points, all that separates these two sides, as half number 2 kicks off. He'll start at the 4. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin there.
Forward. 13.
On first down, they'll start the drive with Henry. And not much there. Good defense, held to no gain.
When you look throughout this game, Mike, I don't think there's even a debate. This defensive line has clearly won the battle at the line of scrimmage over this offensive line. And for an offense that wants the run game to be such a critical element to its plan, they've got to do a better job because there's nowhere to run. There's no holes for the back to find. And all these 0 or negative runs are putting them in some really bad spots.
A big play there for Baltimore. 41 yards. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. On play action, he'll set up to throw. Flush to his right. He's going to tuck it and go. And he'll get about 6 out of that one before being forced out of bounds.
He tried to buy all the time he could, but when he saw that space, he quickly turned from thrower to runner, and he's able to pick up a nice gain on 1st down.
180.
On the handoff, it's Henry. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
Good hustle by the defense. They beat the offensive lineman to the blocks there. No gains on that screen pass. On 4th down, it's Tyler Loop for the Baltimore field goal. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
We'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. We'll go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10.
Hey, Alphas, what?
First carry for one of the league's best workhorses, Derrick Henry. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line.
That's good for a Baltimore 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. That is intercepted. Picked off by Chidobe Awuzie. And he's going to be brought down. What a turn yards here. He has given his guys 1st and 10 in the red zone.
DC, ready? DC, you.
Jackson looking to throw. On the move left. And he'll slide to a halt after picking up about 6.
Take a look at his eyes. You can see the quarterback clearly going through all of his progressions, and he's quick to realize there's nowhere to go with this ball. He makes the right decision and gets out of there, picks up some good yardage, and gets down on the ground.
They'll work straight ahead with Henry. He'll be taken down, but just like that, they are in business. It's 1st and goal. So these two teams take the long walk to the opposite end of the stadium. We've come to the end of the 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. An opportunity for what could be a game-sealing touchdown right here. 1st down and goal. 4th quarter.
Here we go, here we go. 180. Right shot. 11. Shot.
Here's Burrow going to begin this one with a pass. He's close to a 1st down to gain a 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down.
And that's a nice grab for his first catch of the game, Mike. And he's someone that the play caller has told us he wants to get him early touches, get him a feel for the game. Nice job there making that happen.
Here we go. 11 MT. Right 11 Thomas.
Burrow here on second down. And he just does get that one away. He was being chased down, forced the awkward throw. Maybe he's fortunate that all it is an incompletion. An early test to start this one. 3rd and inches. That's into the hands of Gesicki. He's got it. And he's going to have the first down. It is a gain of 6. Good conversion on 3rd down.
11, 12.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete.
They tried to go with the quick game here in hopes they could do something with it after the catch, but I don't think everyone was necessarily on the same page, and this ends up being a wasted down.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 35-yard line. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Chase Brown. And he surges forward for a gain of about 5. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Brown. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
A gain of 12
Thomas.
That's another
12.
First down.
On 1st down, Burrow. Got his man at the 6. And he'll be taken down. So we have a chance for the first points of this game as they've set up 1st and goal. Brown trying to fight his way into the end zone, but they will mark him short. Down at the 1.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
2nd down, Burrow. That's to the end zone, but it is incomplete. Mike Gesicki was the intended receiver. And now 3rd and goal coming up.
Here we go.
Working out of the gun, Burrow. And he overshoots everyone. It's through the back of the end zone and incomplete. Noah Fant was the intended target. And it'll be 4th and goal coming up.
Here we go.
They'll try to run. And he barrels his way into the end zone. Chase Brown. Touchdown, Bengals.
You know, Mike, I think we're going to see a lot of this, and you know why? It's the new kickoff rule. So think about it. In the old days, you'd kick a field goal, you'd kick a touchback, and your opponent would have the ball on the 20. You didn't give up as much field position, but you only got 3 points. Nowadays, you go for 3 points and you kick a touchback. They get the ball on the 35. It's almost 30 yards of field position. You're just better off going for touchdowns when you get in here tight.
And that is incomplete. Aggressive play here. Score on that opening drive, but they don't get 2, and it remains 6-0. So the lead stands at 6-0 as this one is kicked off. That's fielded just shy of the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds on the return, and the drive will begin there. Now the first carry for King Henry. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Well, this play, Mike, was clearly about the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold him to no gain.
This throw right is taken in by Flower. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple, and it sets up 3rd down. Now Jackson going up top and looking for Andrews. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead. Now the Bengals are going to call the first of their timeouts, and they'll get a chance to catch their breath over on the sideline.
6-yard line.
11, 11, 11, 11.
Off the play fake. Here's Burrow. Headed left. Buying time. This one deep downfield for Chase. That one incomplete. The defender right there to make the play. And it's second down. He was trying to get it to Jamar Chase. And it'll bring up second down.
11, 11, 11, 11. Here we go, here we go. White 80. White shot. 11, 11, 11.
To throw is Burrow. He'll look underneath here for Brown. Was brought down, and he's going to pick up 4 and bring up third down.
Brings up third and 5.
They'll run here with Brown.
Chase Brown, ball carriers. Roquan Smith, the tackle.
So, a little extra time to think about what to do on fourth down as we are through quarter number 1. 6-0 is our score. Greg and I back here in Cincinnati after this. It's too long for a field goal. They'll go for it here on fourth down.
11, 11, 11.
Play action now. It's Burrow. And he's going to be hit and taken down. They got him with a big-time rush that leads to a turnover on down. They'll start out on the ground with Henry. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's second down.
1 yard gain. Brings up second and 9.
From the gun, Jackson. That's to the right side. He's got Andrews. And he'll be forced out of bounds. Jackson to his big target, Andrews, for the Baltimore first down.
Gain of 12. First down, Ravens.
They'll run it with Henry. And he'll go forward for a couple. It's second down.
The tackle by Chris Jenkins. 2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8. At the 37-yard line.
Play action now. Jackson. And he will slide to a halt, but he does have the first down.
They got to do a better job of keeping the quarterback contained in the pocket all week, Mike, against mobile quarterbacks. You talk about rushing as a group. This time they get a little undisciplined with their rush lane integrity, and he makes them pay.
That's the way you want to run it on first down. A gain of 7. Here's second and 2. In the shotgun, here's Jackson. That one to the end zone, but incomplete. Zay Flowers, the intended receiver. And third down coming up. Back to throw, Jackson. Rolling right. He'll try and get there on the ground. Jackson's so nimble. He's got the first down and wisely gives himself up at the end.
This is exactly how it's supposed to look on third down. His eyes are downfield, nothing materializes. He quickly decides he can do it himself, picks up the first down, and then to protect himself with the slide. Well done.
He'll run again. And he'll wind up getting about 4 before he's shown the sideline.
Well, we've seen time and time again just how dangerous this quarterback can be, Mike, when he decides to tuck it and take off. So that is a great job defensively to rally to the football and hold him to just a short game.
On play action, here's Jackson. He pulls it in around the 5. And they'll stop him just short of the goal line, but they are going to have enough to convert. It's going to be first and goal.
First and goal, Baltimore.
Henry take this one into the end zone. It's a Raven touchdown.
And this is what good offenses in the NFL do, Mike. It's the ability to bounce back, even if the onset of the game doesn't go exactly according to plan. Everybody wants to take their opening possession and go down there and come away with a touchdown. But it's not always going to be perfect. You turn it over on possession 1. What are you going to do in response on possession 2? Well, we just got our answer, and they took it down for 6.
Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. Charlie Jones now to return. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line.
At their own 33-yard line.
Here we go.
They go play action for Burrow. This one's downfield. Take it in by Higgins.
16 yards.
11 empty. 11 mighty. 11 mighty.
First down. First and
11, 11.
49-yard
12, 12, 12.
Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very stout. That's going to bring up second down.
So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call.
He'll find Andre Yosifov. And they'll move this ball way down into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line. A huge play just before the half. 33 yards.
11 MT take. 11 MT take. 11, 11, 11. 11 Thomas. 11 MT take. 11 MT.
A first down throw for Burrow. That's complete. It's Yosifov. And the Bengals are going to have first and goal coming up. Tackle made at the 3-yard line.
This has been a really good drive so far, but what I really like, Mike, is they're down here in the red zone, and they continue to attack. Now, not quite a touchdown, but with first and goal, this defense certainly has their back against the ropes.
To the goal line and in. Mike Gesicki. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
You know, we spent so much time talking about the heroics of a game-winning drive to end the fourth quarter in 2-minute mode. Now let's talk about a 2-minute mode, Mike, at the end of the first half.
Here we go.
It might not be in walk-off fashion, but I'll tell you what, execute.
That's in the end zone and intercepted. Picked off by the rookie out of Georgia. So, final seconds of this first half. Looks like they'll take a lead into the locker room as the kick's away. This taken just shy of the goal line. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. Just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play. Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this second half gets underway. He'll get this up past the 20. That's where they'll set up shop. So first and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. Off the play fake. Jackson. Throw, left side, caught by Andrews. And he's going to be marked down up around the 33. They get 11 and quickly picked up a first down. So it'll be 1st and 10. They'll scrimmage at the 33. Pistol give to Henry. And he's able to push through the tacklers to pick up 6.
I think every running back's dream is that he's going to run through a wide open hole and have breakaway touchdowns, but that's not necessarily the case very often in the NFL. So the backs that are the best are the ones that can get more yardage than maybe what's blocked for. And I think this is a nice physical game here that they can continue to build off of as the game unfolds. And after that short run, puts them a little bit closer to the 1st down marker, and they're going to need to create more running room on the ground if they plan on extending this drive.
That's complete. He got it to Hopkins. And it looks like he's going to have enough. Indeed, the referee does signal. It is a 1st down. On the give, here's Henry. And let's give him about 4 on that one. Demetrius Knight there on the tackle.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Just shy of midfield. Here's 2nd down and 5. Jackson now. He'll complete this one to Rashad Bateman. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. First time they've looked his way all game long. He comes through with the grab and a 1st down.
Hey, middle.
They'll run. It's Henry. And he's going to be followed up quickly after a gain of about 1. Chris Jenkins there on the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Jackson now on 2nd down. That is left side and caught by Flowers. And he's in! Zay Flowers! Touchdown, Baltimore. A terrific play all the way around, finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
A dive, and he's in. The 2-point conversion is successful.
Mike, I think all of us can remember exactly where we were during a certain Super Bowl where throwing the ball this close to the goal line ended up being a disaster. But unlike that time, they ran this pass play to perfection, and the result, 2 points.
Here we go. 11, MT, Kate. 11.
On 1st and 10, Burrow. Just trying to avoid the rush there. He's hit as he threw, and the pass is incomplete.
I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, it just ends up being a wasted down.
11.
Burrow here on 2nd down. He's got Gesicki open down the field. And he's going to be dragged down, but not until he's inside the 25. Now the Bengals are going to call the first of their timeouts. And they'll have a chance to talk things over after picking up that 1st down.
10 at the 21-yard line.
11, mighty. 11, let's get set. Right, 12. Stop.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down.
At the 21-yard line.
Here we go. 11, Thomas. White 80, 12. 11.
Looking out of the gun, Burrow. Oh, trying to keep the play alive, but it is intercepted. Picked off by Chidobe Awuzie.
I think anytime you find yourself trailing in the second half, Mike, all offensive play callers fight the urge to chase those points. They tend to get a little bit overeager. They tend to push the envelope sometimes a little too far. Those turnovers, they only make the deficit grow, not shrink. Now, there's a lot of football left, Mike. They can still get back into this. They just have to be a little bit smarter about which risks you're willing to take.
And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this third quarter of play. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. Fourth quarter underway, and here's Henry. And it doesn't appear that he got to that first down marker. They'll only give him a yard, so it'll set up 3rd down. Now, faking the give. On the run to the right. He'll try to run for it.
These are the plays that are just crushing for a defense. Here you are, you think you're about to make a big stop, force 4th down, and get the football back. But instead, you let the quarterback get loose. He picks up the 1st down with his legs. And now you got to defend a fresh set of downs.
So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. There's a give, heading right, it's Henry, and he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 25-yard line.
They'll try to throw here with Jackson. Out to his right. Now he takes off. You can't beat a running quarterback. Gain of 16 and a 1st down.
We've seen this quarterback have some effective plays with his legs all game today, Mike. He knows when to stay in there and look to pass, but he also knows when it's time to tuck it and go, and he's able to pick up good yardage there.
So, a couple of 1st downs will give them 1st and 10. They're at the 41. On the ground, here's Henry. And he'll be met in the backfield and dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
So these situations, Mike, are always very tricky for a play caller. Of course you want to keep the clock moving. You're just trying to run the game out and maintain this lead, but you also don't want to become overly predictable. So with the defense just selling out to stop the run, I think they have to mix in a few high completion percentage passes to just at least keep them off balance.
On play action, he'll set up to throw. He is hit before he can get rid of it, and down he goes. So 2 minutes left to play in the 2nd half. We'll come back and finish this one off after this. This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Open man, that's Flowers. Remember, he had the touchdown catch the last time they had the football. Here, he's got a 1st down.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation. And that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe for success.
Here's 1st and 10. Here's Here's Henry. Room to run at the 35. What a run. He brings it to the red zone. Taken down inside the 20-yard line. It's a big play when they needed it the most. 31 yards.
And the Ravens first down.
Ball down to the 16, Jackson. And this is going to be a touchdown. They are going to extend the lead here in the final minute of play.
And that's exactly how you get the ball and leave no doubt. But that late touchdown, Mike, that should all but just seal this victory away.
On is Luke to add the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Ravens will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter. So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they kick it away. This taken around the 11. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line.
They're on 27-yard line.
Play clock down to 0. That is not the way to start a drive. And the back judge throws the flag. He looks at the ball, looks at the clock. Clock says 0. That's a delay of game.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Coming up, well, we've got what can only be described as a mirror image matchup, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens and themselves. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. 18 more yards there and another first down. The first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
Jackson going to keep it. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Ravens get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Ravens 7, Ravens nothing.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
Henry up the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
And the Baltimore first down. A gain of 1 yard. First down, Baltimore.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. Second down and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 34-yard line.
Now it's Jackson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. He'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Kyle Van Noy 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. Fourth down, here's Jackson. That's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malachi Starks. And the Ravens are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10.
Hey.
They'll try the right side with Henry. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers, 33 yards. And the Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
The 4-team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You know, perfect omelet, dropped it. So a little bit of a turnover. You went right back though and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands though.
Yeah.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Yo.
Throwing is Jackson. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in the touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there is never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
Go. Come on, come on. Come on.
Now Jackson. Now he'll tuck this and run. And Jackson's so tough to stop. He's got a first down, and he gives himself up there at the end. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They go play action now. Jackson. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this touchdown.
Zay Flowers, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary, or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
A 28-yard gain. First down, Ravens.
Here's Jackson to throw. And there's a quick throw caught by Andrews. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Play action. It's Jackson. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 39. And that is no good. And this will stay a 3-touchdown game. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. He's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
Well, it reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
They go play action with Jackson. Now he's going to step up and run. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 25 yards. And the Ravens take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points. Extra point splits the uprights, and it is 28-0.
Ravens 28, Ravens nothing.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
26-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. In motion left, Flowers.
First down.
Jackson. On the arc, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Kyle Van Noy able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Jackson. Under pressure, they got him again. Draymond Jones in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Jackson. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Malachi Starks. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They think they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. A familiar refrain. A turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust.
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take the blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. Inside handoff, Henry. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Jackson now. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 4.
48-yard line. No, we changed it.
Play action. Now Jackson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. That is the big fella, Nnamdi Madubuike, forcing his way in. He comes up with a sack. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Now, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about yours.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop it. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. Derrick Henry all alone. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And it is 42-0.
42. Ravens nothing. Tyler Luke to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? You put points on the board, so if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
No gain on the play. It's now 3rd and 4.
Report!
Oh, now some trickery. They fake the spike. And that is going to wind up incomplete. So they try to hit him with something you don't see too often, but it doesn't work out.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. That kind of puts the bow on what has been a complete performance, Charles. They're pitching a shutout on the other side in this offense. They've done their thing well, too.
Yeah, this game has been an all-out effort from them on every snap, and there's a good amount of pride on the line right now. They want to finish what they started. They want this shutout preserved.
On his loop for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Ravens 49. Ravens nothing. Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And able to get this out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. And they're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
To throw is Jackson. Now he'll tuck this and run. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the 23-yard line.
180.
So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. And then the defense jumped up and said, hold it. We're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.
All right, let's get this one on the road, Brock. It is 1st and 10. Here's Derrick Henry getting it on the ground. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that 1st down play.
You want to see the term read and react with a little video in the football dictionary? That's it.
Now, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Jackson. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
Quarterback of his renounce, Kate, I'm not surprised at all to see him throw it into double coverage early. And that incompletion, well, it's just going to fuel his confidence that much more to keep forcing it.
Jackson now on 3rd. Pass him on the quick hitter. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw. To make in that spot, to move the chains.
All right, here's one of our game's first big risks. The offense lining up to go for it on their own side. And it's a turnover to begin their game. That's incomplete on fourth, and it's going to go over on downs.
Even the best receivers, they've got occasional breaks in concentration. You just never want to see it happen. One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though, it's he'll be up for the challenge the next time the ball comes his way.
Ready. Number 20.
First carry now for Kyron Williams. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Justin Matabike making that stop.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9.
Blue 60.
Working from the gun. Here's Stafford. His first throw is an interception. Roquan Smith with the pick.
Stafford's pass intercepted.
Well, for their sake, partner, I sure hope the rest of their pass attempts this game go a whole lot better than that, because it is pretty clear this defense came to play.
And I can promise you this, Kate, nowhere on that opening script does the word interception ever appear. You never want to see an INT. Now they're going to have to flush it. That's the key here for this quarterback in the offense. Got to flush that mistake and press on ahead.
And it's not just some quarterbacks, Brock Hewitt, who got to have short memories. You tell me this too, defenses need them sometime as well.
Yeah, 100%. You give up a big run, well, too bad. No time to dwell on it, because you got to line up, buckle up that chin strap, and try to knock them backwards.
Here's Lamar. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And for the second straight play, Brock, they're headed the wrong way, and that's going to bring up a tough 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
UAX.
3rd and long for him here. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. 4th down coming up.
You and I know, Kate, it's on average about 60 to 65 plays a game, somewhere between 10 and 12 3rd downs. And what you don't want to do is start 0 for 2 in that column.
It's fielded at the 14. Further up their side of the field with a nice return there, partner. Up past the 35. Good field position for the Rams as they get ready. 1st and 10. Here's Williams to start the drive. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Brought down by Teddy Buchanan.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on 2nd down after that drive starts with a very minimal gain.
Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8.
180.
Shotgun snap to Stafford. That one's complete over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that's going to be good for an LA 1st down. It's like you always say, right back to work for him, getting the drive moving like that turnover never happened.
And they weren't going to shy away from letting him do his thing, throwing the football. Mistakes happen in this league and in this game. And you never want to punish a quarterback for making a mistake. You want to see him continue to produce.
And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. Through 1 quarter, neither side breaking through on the scoreboard. Hopefully no shortage of excitement coming up in the 2nd. Back to the bank in just a moment. Time for the 2nd quarter of play. It's Rams football. They're looking at 2nd and 4.
Set. 10.
Throw, Stafford. And Kua's got it again. And he's out of bounds just short of the 30. That's a pickup of 9. And the Rams have the first down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
Now Stafford again. Short pass brought in. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Yeah, you like these results on first. That completion right there, right in the window where all options are now available to you on second down. That playbook wide open.
Stafford's going to throw once more. Completed over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 16. Give him 8 yards on the play. And that's going to be good for an LA first down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
Bringing the offense up to the line. 1st and 10. Straight ahead with Williams. Drops by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just sometimes you got to run into darkness. Just go where there is no lane and hope that something opens along the way. That linebacker said, not this time.
First down run. Stafford now off the play fake. It's complete to Higbee. And he's able to get this down to the 13.
We give a lot of credit to receivers, and rightfully so, Kate, for them going into coverage and making a catch. I don't think we give enough credit to tight ends. I know they're big, I know they're physical, but to go into double coverage, take that contact, and come away with the catch, that's a big-time effort.
Screen here for Williams. And that is a great stop to deny him the marker. It's going to be 4th down. Clock continuing to run as the Rams hurry to the line. Going for it, it's Williams. And they come through to stay on the field. That is enough to set this offense up with a 1st and goal.
And I don't think there was a single doubt in the building that that was going to be an R-U-N. And not a single doubt in the outcome either. Great push to drive it forward and get the first.
Stafford from the gun to the end zone, but incomplete. Couldn't get it. That's going to set up 2nd and goal.
As I watch practices today, Kate, both college and professionally, one thing is abundantly clear. Teams spend so much more time in the red zone. They know it's the money zone. And defensively, if you can force incompletions and knock it away and leave teams for field goals, you got a great chance to win.
Stafford now. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. The Rams get their first point of this game just before halftime. It's a Puka Nacua touchdown. No hesitation on that throw. He got the guy he wanted right away, and he got it to him for the touchdown. Here's Evans set to kick this away. Rasheen Ali on the return. Things going well so far. Tackles made, so this drive will begin at the 34-yard line. 19 seconds remain in our opening half. Let's see what they do with it. First down. Here's Lamar. Connects on the crosser. And the stop is made just before he's able to reach that midfield strike. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts. Ball's on the 48. Here we go. First down. Shotgun snap to Jackson. Back to Flowers they go. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. All right, whistles. They've got a timeout. 7 seconds to go in this half. All right up against that marker, but not there yet. It's 2nd and inches. Lamar now from the gun. Finds him on the crossing route. And he stopped almost immediately after that catch. He's down at the 30. Timeout taken by the Ravens. That is their final one. And that's all they've got for what little... All right, this is going to be the play that takes us to halftime. Throwing here just before halftime. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. All set up. Here's Luke to kick it away. Blake Corum now to return it. All right, and in the end, Brock, this is going to make it out to the 30. Rams ready for this one. Here's 1st and 10. Second half starts with a run by Williams. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him. Moving quickly, trying to get set again.
That's good for Rams.
32.
Throwing now on 1st down. Stafford. Right side into the hands of Adams. And he'll get it up to the 44. Goes to the hurry up here.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 34-yard.
Now Stafford to throw. Connects with Adams again. And he's going to be at midfield now as he gets out of bounds.
17. It's a gain of 6. And it's 3rd down.
3rd and just 2 to go.
To the right, 22. Set. At 80. Middle.
Throwing now on 3rd and 2. Complete beyond the marker. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. They gain 11 on that play. And the Rams have the 1st down. So fresh set of downs now from the 39.
11 on the play. And the Rams 1st down.
Play action now for Stafford. Completed left side to Smith. He runs this to the 25 before being brought down. Working quickly here.
20.
A gain of 14. 1st down, Los Angeles.
Now there's the flag. Looks like the jump came from the left side of the line. There was a blitz coming, and that got somebody to panic and jump early. It cost him 5 yards. There's that back 5 by that false start. Now 15 yards to the marker. Running it after the penalty. And they push him out just as he gets back to the line. 2nd down coming up.
One defender failed. His buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Rolling from the pistol. Stafford finds him over the middle. It's on the turf. Falls out. He lost it. And the Ravens make the recovery. They won't get much on that return, Brock. Actually might have lost a little ground, but they do gain possession of the football.
You're using this play to try for a 1st down, but also set up whatever in your back pocket for 3rd down. But you know what? Throw it all away. None of it matters now if you can't hang on to the doggone football. And the defense pounces on that one in a hurry.
Henry gets it here to start the drive. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
He was brought down.
That's the kind of yardage it's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now second down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3-and-out.
From the gun, Jackson escapes the pocket. He can run it. Room up the sideline, now at the 40. Excellent pickup to move the chains. 36 yards in the end.
That's one of those occasions when you're sitting in the pocket and you're just looking for that escape valve. And then when you get it, you get space to run, and you get a first down. That's a big bonus for the quarterback.
Down inside the 40 now with a first down following that last play. Flying down the middle of Henry. Has a lane inside the 25. And he will carry this across for the Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens get this time before the end of the third. Derrick Henry, the touchdown.
Okay, that's just simply the difference-making edge that these elite running backs bring to you. A lot of backs can get you 10 yards, 20 yards. But the elite backs, they can take it to the house.
That one splits the uprights, and they'll take the lead. All set up. Here's Luke to kick it away. Corum now on the return. Showing a little burst so far. He's racing past midfield. Field flipping effort there as he's brought down on the opposite side of the 50.
Hey, listen, I get it. I'm as guilty as anyone. So hyper-focused on offense and defense, often forgetting it's special teams in a play like that can swing a game. What a great return now to start out on a short field. And you've got to believe all this offense is thinking is let's capitalize and find that end zone.
And that's incomplete. Wanted to dial up the aggressiveness there like that, but couldn't connect. Second down.
Kyle Hamilton was there defensively.
Set. Lady.
Shotgun snap to Safford. Has him on the quick hitter. And they get this down to the 28.
It's a gain of 14 yards.
3 quarters in the books from this one. It's Rams football. They trail late, but this game's still very much in reach.
28-yard line.
All set now. First and 10. Up the gut they go with Williams. And that carry only nets one on the plunge up the gut.
Okay, the 2-yard run on first down, I think that keeps you ahead of schedule. You're going to have to pick up the pace.
At the 26-yard line.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8.
Ready.
Throwing now, Stafford. Setting up the running back screen. And a bit of deja vu as they stop him at the line once again.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
Looking to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock. And physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
And they don't get the catch they need there. Their hand was forced, Brock. Had to try and go for it, but they turned it over on downs.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. They got 21 yards on the play, and that's going to be a Baltimore first. One play in, and they are already close to midfield. Lamar off the play fake. Oh, put some heat on this deep. They did it. He made the interception. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Rams have some new life in the fourth.
Not just a bad decision, frankly. And really, as a quarterback in this moment of the game, you got to know it's not a time to take a risk. You cannot be throwing out life preservers and giving that other team, your opponent, a chance like he just did.
Yellow 80! Double right! White.
Stafford now on first down. Throwing the out route complete. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. Offense up to the line fast.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 28-yard line.
Working from the gun. Here's Stafford. Short pass brought in. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this one to the 41. Offense getting set. Here's 1st and 10. The left side taken in by Adams. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable. It creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. They motion the tight end over. Go right side, caught by Smith. And they get the first down. This also moves him into range, Brock, for a potential game-winning field goal.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
32, 80. Big 20.
He'll look to throw it. He's got the hook up to Adams. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. Clock continuing to run as the Rams hurry to the line.
Brings up
Big
2nd
20.
and 2 at the Ravens' 35-yard line.
Ten.
Here he is to throw. Catch me to the right side by Nakua. And he's going to be stopped, but not before he gets him all the way down to that 15-yard line. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
Clock continuing to run as the Rams hurry to the line. Receiver in motion, going left. From the gun, a carry by Williams. And the stop is made 3 yards from the end zone. It's going to be 1st and goal. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game.
You spring a big gain like that, Kate, on the interior. 9 times out of 10, that O-line decisively won their matchup with the big fellas up front. They got those pads down. They created leverage, and they opened up that running lane.
And he's brought down by a collective effort there. Only 1 yard on the carry.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal. Right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
Now a timeout's called. Not their last one, though, so they can try another play before setting up for that field goal. Trying again from the 2. It's 2nd and goal.
Set.
Setting up to pass. Has it in close. And he's in, and that's a touchdown. And with almost no time left, he just likely won them this game. Absolutely clutch score there, Brock, as they take the lead here in the final minute.
Incredible execution. The moment not too big for any of them. And, Kate, they cashed in when it really mattered.
2-point try coming up. Stafford getting the offense set. Back to throw. Escapes the pocket. And he isn't going to get it. They wanted those two to feel a little bit more comfortable, but hey, they're still just moments away from a victory. Here's Evans set to kick this away. Ali to return it. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Offense to the line. They're going to have trips right to start out.
Come on,
Here he goes, one final shot.